Hello everyone, good evening, and I welcome all of you to this lecture. Good evening, everyone. I gladly welcome you. So, today we are starting a new topic. I think we have not done geometry in the recent past, and we're kind of trying to reinforce learnings from geometry. So, before we get started, why don't you quickly give me a confirmation that audio, video, visuals are clear? So that would be nice. That would be encouraging if somebody is in the meeting, and if you can tell me that audios and videos are good. That would be nice. Yeah. Okay, that's nice. All right. Thanks, Thomas. Yeah. Good. Thanks, Risti. Thank you. Thank you for confirmation. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Yeah, all perfect. Nice cable. All right. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Yeah, here we go. Let's get started on that note. Let me quickly introduce myself. So I'm Belvi Srinivas. I've been working in this industry since 14 years. That's since 2007 for about 14 years now. Yes, I did work in various capacities during those 14 years, both on the side of contributing on the side of management as well as contributing on the side of training. So I also developed some good skill to train the students in the areas of QA, DI, LR effectively. Yeah, that's a little bit about me. And yes, so if you are looking at some needs to have a quick discussions, probably this is the Telegram channel that you can add on to, and use this channel you can post your small concerns, the queries, and we can take it up from there. That's briefly about how you can interface or interact with me. Before we start onto the lecture, allow me to do some quick announcements. So there are a couple of batches set to start tomorrow, that is on 23rd of October. There are a couple of batches, and especially some respect to cat 22, and there is a snap 21 batch, which is the structured batch. These are the plus courses, which are kind of very structured courses targeting particular exams, is about to start, and these are some of the educators who was doing this. And there is a batch which has also just recently started. You can also, if you are on this on the plus subscription, you can also try and check it out, what these batches are, what these educators are trying to teach in a very structured way. That's about the upcoming batches. And this is one of the subscription plans, the 6-month subscription plans, which gives you the facility to even watch 1,000+ hours of recorded sessions with 20 plus practice tests, etc. It also gives you, I mean, in the areas of snap, IIFT, ZAT, you can look forward to that, and you can also watch some of the lectures that have been done in the past with this particular subscription. Yeah, you will get 10% discount on any of the subscription plans when you use an educator code, including my code, right? Yeah. Yes, if you are particularly looking for the interactions, one-to-one interactions, you can set up the meetings with the educators or the mentors of your choice. And for that, you may have to go for iconic subscriptions. Only then you will be getting the one-to-one interactive facility. Yeah, okay. These are the subscription plans. It appears to be a little premium, but you get 10% discount on this. And when you set up the meetings, you can set up the meetings either to either to validate your profile, or to validate your application forms, or it could be to validate your validate your answers to the interviews, because there will be certain mundane questions, and in the interviews, as you set to get some good interview calls, you might have to validate some of your responses to check whether is that okay for a professor coming from this kind of background, right? So these are the kind of things that you might have to validate in these one-to-one. Maybe even already when you are looking for the exams, you might want to consider, is there a different strategy that you can consider based on your own SWOT? You can take up such discussions. All these kind of discussions you can do through iconic subscription. Yeah. And even if you don't want to pay these kind of subscription fees, the best way is take the cat combat, that is on this particular Sunday at 5 p.m. And if you are into the top 3 or 4 to 10, 11 to 15, some of these ranks you can easily get, guys, if you stay focused for 60 minutes and you can answer some of the questions that you are sure about. So if you get these things, you will get a scholarship. So with scholarship, probably you don't have to shell out much even to get into the you want to get into any of these courses as well, subscription plans as well. So if you are not taken the test, I recommend that, I strongly recommend, write once and try your luck. And if you can get into the top 20, 30 kind of ranks, top 50 kind of ranks. All right, you get up to 50% scholarship kind of. Yeah. So you can use the educator code all right to write these particular tests. Yes, that's pretty much about the announcements. Okay, so what we'll do on geometry is, guys, how many of you are here? Can you guys put something in the chat? Something in the chat. You guys can put something in the chat. Yeah, Mr. Timothy, thanks for sharing that feedback. Whoever is in the chat, why don't you put something in the chat just to make me understand that, okay, you guys are around. These are the people who are around. Sahil is around. Everybody can put. Those who were put earlier as well, you can go ahead and put it once again so that I would understand that, okay, who are present at the moment. Sahil, Rishav, Preet, Keval, Prerna, all right. Anybody else? Anybody else? You guys can just put in your name so that I understand that, okay, Vibha. Okay. Alu. Okay. Looks little different. Who is that song creator? Okay. Song creator, you can sign off. Okay. You can sign off. If you are thinking that CAT GK comes or not, I'm doing for CAT 21, which is 45 days from today. And you ask such question. Okay. So this is for CAT 21. Okay. No offenses meant. I'm seriously telling you, right? If you are thinking that CAT has GK, no GK, then it doesn't make any sense to prepare for CAT 21. This is from the CAT 21 perspective I'm doing. That we'll discuss in CAT 22. All right. Yeah. Okay. Great. Chahat is here. Nandini is here. Okay. Some names appears to be pretty new to me. Okay. Nevertheless, yeah. Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, good guys, good. So let's get started. What we do is the way we are doing on this. So what we'll do a reflective study. In the sense, I will not teach you from the basics saying that, hey guys, these are the lines, these are the angles, right? In the angles, there is something called as alternate angle. There is something called as vertically opposite angle, right? We have corresponding angle. I will not get into that level because we are just about 45 days from CAT, right? About 40 days, not even 40 days, right? So the countdown is much even lesser than that. So it doesn't make sense to study at that kind of level, right? And hence, yeah, so what we do therefore is a reflective study, assuming that, oh, kind of little bit of basics we know. So we will take it up from there and try to see that, okay, how we can look at certain important things that we should know from 35 days to CAT. All right, that's what we are looking at. If you're thinking that no, we'll start from what is line, what is ray, what is angle, it doesn't make sense. All right, that is not the kind of course I'm trying to do out here. Okay, yeah, let me be very clear. So therefore, what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of reflective study. Surely, as you have seen in the numbers, as you have seen in the PNC, wherever it is required, I will give sufficient background to those particular questions, right? So even if some of you are faltering on that, I could kind of sense it from your chat and I will give a complete background based on that. There is no hesitation on that. So let me make that point clear. It is not that I will just solve the question and answer and move on. It is not about that. Wherever it is required, that kind of time has to be spent. I will spend adequate time. But I'm just forewarning you that I will not start from the definition. What is it? What is that? Is that all good? That's a call. That's how we'll proceed. Make sense? Make sense? The methodology, the way we are trying to take it for CAT 21, did it make sense? Say yes, no. I'm just putting forth how we want to do this, how I am planning to do this. Sudeep, you come on the Telegram group, you text this on the Telegram, we'll do counseling there. Okay, we'll do counseling there. I'm not planning to do a counseling here. Okay, and you get throw some numbers, some statistics you throw, and you want to make some opinion out of that, Mr. Sudeep Haldar. So that may not be possible, right? So analysis of statistics takes some time. So you give me some numbers and ask some question. That's not the way to deal with it, right? That's not how the counseling is done. May not be possible. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, Himanshi, you didn't understand what I asked. You may have to go back to the video again. You may have to go back to the video. You need to be attentive, my friend. Okay, here we go. Let's get started on this. So let's get started. So here we go. So here is a question in front of you. Very, very elementary question on the sides of the triangle. Yeah. Yeah. So we are doing in a reflective fashion, Himanshu. Follow it for 5 minutes. You will understand what I meant. Don't worry. Okay. Just follow it for 5 minutes. You will understand. No big deal about it. Yeah. Cool. All right. So just think about it and some of you plug in the answers. Very simple question to start with. You guys can plug in the answer in the chat. All of you sit with a book and a pen. Don't keep watching the screen. It will not make sense. You simply keep watching the screen. I don't appreciate. So keep a book, keep a pen, sit upright and move your pens a little bit. You will be able to do it. This is a modified CAT question, guys. Very easy one. Okay, Timothy, write once. It's okay. You don't have to type the same thing 2, 3, 4 times. I read it. I read it. You already said 8. I read it. You don't have to make it 2, 3 times. Yeah. It already caught my attention. Don't worry. You just put it there. I'm just waiting for others also to warm up a little bit. That's it. Let everybody warm up. That's all. That's all the idea is. Okay. Okay, Sahil. All right. Okay. Good. All right. So this is based on the premise what? Okay, fine. That's a good reflection time. Don't worry. Now don't keep typing here, there and all that. Yeah. So that's good enough. That's good enough. It's just a reflection time. Let's quickly understand this. What is this built on the premise? What is this kind of built upon? We know that sum of two sides of a triangle should be greater than the third side. Whatever be the sides. Let's say that A, B, C are the three sides. Sum of any two sides should be greater than the third side. Any two sides. You may say that A plus B. So looking at this, should A plus B be greater than C? Yes, otherwise triangle cannot be formed, right? And we have done the proofs of this, all that kind of stuff. Okay, you may say that what about A plus C? It should be greater than B, no doubt about it. What about B plus C? That must be greater than A, no doubt about it. At the same time, the difference of two sides, of course, bigger number and the smaller number, the difference of two sides, I'm writing a mod because I don't know whether A would be greater or B would be greater. Difference of two sides has to be less than the third side. Difference of any two sides, A, B, or you may say that, what about B and C? That should be less than A. What about C and A? That should be less than B. These are the two premises, two statements you learn. What is one statement? When I wrote this, what I meant by this, sum of two sides should be greater than the third side. At the same time, the difference of two sides should be less than the third side. Difference of two sides should be less than the third side, which can be represented in this particular fashion. So I just illustrated that particular point. This question is simply built on these two premises. Two sides are given. Hey, side 1 is given to me as 6. Side 2 is given to me as 10. What has been questioned? Side 3 is what has been questioned, which is an integer. Side 3 has been questioned. It is said that it is also an integer. Good enough. So therefore I can say that, hey, sum of two sides, that is sum of two sides should be greater than the third side. So therefore I say that 6 plus 10, sum of these two sides has to be greater than the third side, called as S3. At the same time, difference of two sides, that is 10 minus 6. Well, a difference of two sides has to be less than the third side. What is my third side? Unknown side. Sum of two sides should be greater than the third side. At the same time, the difference of two sides has to be less than the third side. Good. Put this inequality in perspective. You would be writing this therefore as S3 should lie between, therefore you are saying S3 should lie between 10 plus 6 and 10 minus 6. I didn't do anything. I just organized this data. That's it. Organized. Either you can write it and then organize. You don't organize, whichever way that it is. It's an upper limit and lower limit. These are the values it can take, and hence you are saying that the third side side can lie between 16 and 4. It is integers, but 4 and 16 cannot be the values. All the integers in between them, that is 5 onwards. 5 is fine, 6 is fine, 7 is fine, up to 15 it is fine. Set of all these numbers is fine. There are 11 numbers in this set, including 5 and 15. There are 11 numbers, which means 11 triangles can be formed whose sides are integers. Comfortable? Everybody comfortable? It is simply based on my two statements, two key statements. Sum of two sides should be greater than the third side. Difference of two sides should be less than the third side. Comfortable? Everybody comfortable? What was the concept I was talking about? When we give a question, we are actually questioning a concept, right? When the question is presented, idea is we are questioning a concept. We are trying to understand what concept behind that question. This was the concept I was using. Very, very elementary concept from triangles. Everyone clear? These two statements are clear. Sum of two sides has to be greater than the third side. Difference of two sides has to be less than the third side. Clear these two statements? There's an application simply built on this, isn't it? Yeah. Hey, as many as if you confirm it is good, yeah, it would be good. Right? Don't be passively looking at the screen here and there, rather like, so when I'm trying to interact, I'll try and confirm as much as possible if you're sitting on the right device. If there is a problem in typing, I'm okay with it, right? If you're facing a problem in putting typing in the chat, then it is fine. Otherwise, as much as it is possible, do that. Okay, so here we go. Let's move on. Let's build a little deeper into this. Let's go on here. Same question. I'm adding another condition to this. Now reflect on this, take a couple of minutes. Yeah, Rishav, both are same. This and that, yeah, both are same. But we learn both, right? So because if you apply both only, then you get the answer there, right? That's easier. Like a heads and tails. You put both heads and tails, you get the answer faster. Like two sides of the same coin, that's right. Think about this. What is the concept? Try and reflect, right? Because I'm sure that, okay, this is not the first time you guys are doing geometry there with 35 days to go. Good, 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 Rishabh. Yeah, good, Keval. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. Okay, fine. So let's assume this. Listen, guys, good. That's a nice reflection time. Listen, I give the reflection time because we are 35 days to CAT and we kind of know about it. Therefore, we are doing some CAT questions. Let's see what does it mean to us, how much we understand about it, what kind of reinforcement we should do. That's all I'm looking at. I'm allowing you that 1.5 minutes for you to think through. That's it. Okay. Yeah. So let's say that ABC are the sides of the triangle in which A is less than or equal to B and C, which means C is one of the largest side. All right, C can be one of the largest side. Listen to me. All of you listen to me first. Forget this question. We'll come back to this question first. Let's understand the concept. Then we will come back to this particular question. Say ABC are three sides of a triangle in which A is the smallest side, C being one of the largest side and B can be intermediate. See, why I'm writing less than or equal to? Because all three sides can be equal. It is called as an equilateral triangle. So it can also be equal that A is equal to B, but then both together are less than C, called isosceles triangle, right? That is possible. It can also be possible that A is equal to B is equal to C to form a triangle, equilateral triangle. What if no three sides are equal, no two sides are equal? Becomes a scalene triangle. We know all this particular story. Therefore, I said that what I meant by this is C is very important for me, because C being one of the largest sides. If it is not a largest side, sure, it is one of the largest sides. That's a comment that's a stance we are taking. From here, you write that, okay, the largest side, you keep it away. Largest side you keep it away. So I'm three cases arise. Largest side you keep it away. If the two sides a square plus b square, if the other two sides, sum of the other two sides is greater than c square, this is the condition for acute angle triangle. This is the condition for acute angle triangle. If you understand that if c being one of the largest sides, separate that fellow, and sum of the squares of the other two sides, if it is less than, so it comes from where? The cosine rule, right? Those who understand sine rule and cosine rule are the two rules we kind of use in geometry. Definitely we'll come to it as a part of our study, because these two are very, very important rules based on which so many questions can be cracked. We'll come to that study any which ways. So at least even whether I understand cosine rule or not at this point in time, this is the rule for acute angle triangle. What about right angle triangle? If a square plus b square is equal to c square, of course c is the hypotenuse, no doubt. So that becomes a condition for a right angle triangle. That becomes a right angle triangle, acute angle triangle, and then right angle triangle from angular perspective. Okay, yeah. What if it is the other way around? A square plus b square is less than c square. That becomes a condition for obtuse angle triangle. When I presented this question, I was asking about this. When I presented this question, this is what I was thinking about. Okay, hey, this is one of the important conditions to solve some of the critical problems into the future. So are we mindful about this? This is what I was kind of questioning. Okay, now coming back to the question. Yeah, hi guys. Hi Reshma, somebody is joining. All right. Yeah, I'm saying hi. I'm reading. So even if I don't say hi in between, don't worry about it. Okay, yeah, don't worry about it. Let's come back to this particular question. What I wanted, hey, two sides are 6 and 10. Two of the sides are 6 and 10, and the third side is an integer. I'll let you determine how many values the third side can take, such that I get an acute angle triangle. That is my point. How many values of the third side, for how many values of the third side I can form an acute angle triangle? That was my question. All right, that was the question. Let's see, how do we attack this? Okay, what are my three sides? I know my first side, I know my second side. Only thing I don't know is my third side. Okay, my first side is 6, my second side is 10. My third side, assume that the third side is the largest side. Let me call this as C, let me call this as X. I'm just writing it as X. Let X be the third, X be the third side. Two cases arise. What is my case 1? My case 1 is let X be the largest side. Let X be the largest side. If X is the largest side, let X be the largest side. Then what do you write? Then you write this 6 square plus 10 square should be greater than X square, because I'm looking for an acute angle triangle condition. If X is the largest side, what is my case 2, man? What is my case 2? My case 2 is let 10 be the largest side. Let 10 be the largest side, because it is possible that 10 can be the largest side. Why X should be the largest side? That is one case. It is possible that let 10 be the largest side. Let 10 be the largest side. In that case, what I would be writing? 6 square plus X square should be greater than 10 square. You may say that, sir, write another case 3. Let 6 be the largest side. You will say that let 6 be the largest side, which will become the third case. No, that is not possible. When 10 is there, why 6 becomes the largest side? 6 can never become the largest side. Therefore, there are two cases. That is the approach to this. That is how you see it, because you know this condition. You know this condition, but the point is you don't know which is C, which is the largest side. I'm saying that one case can be let X be the largest side. If X is the largest side, you end up writing this statement. If 10 is the largest side, you end up writing this statement. Nobody can claim that let 6 be the largest side. When you can see 10, why 6 becomes the largest side? There is no choice that 6 becomes the largest side. Hey guys, are you clear with the framework? Are you clear with the framework of working? Everybody quickly respond there in the chat. Clear with the framework? Once you understand this particular statement, did you get this framework of case 1 and case 2? Quick, put it in the chat. Clear about this? Chinmay, X be the smallest side, leave here. X be the smallest side is nothing to do with me. Don't ask irrelevant things. We are clear with the concept here. This is the concept. Why you are deviating from the concept? Let X be the smallest side. How does it matter to me? This is the concept. Concept focuses on the largest side. Concept focuses on the largest side. Why you are worried about unnecessary things? Right? So there are so many things to do in the necessary space. Why worry about unnecessary space? Okay, good. Because there's nothing, smallest side is nothing to do with me. That's my point here. Okay, let's resolve this. Therefore, what you are trying to say? You are trying to say that 136 has to be greater than X square. All right, on the other side, x square has to be greater than 10 square minus 6 square. That is, x square should be greater than 64. All right, okay, 64 on one side, 136 on the other side. Mix them together. X square should be less than 136 and x square should be greater than 64. I didn't do anything. I just put these two things to perspective. Therefore, you say that, hey, x square, it should be a perfect square. What are the values? Okay, this is 8 square, but disqualified. 9 square, I am fine. 10 square, I am fine. 11 square, I am fine. 12 square, now this is greater. This is between 11 and 12. Therefore, you say that, hey, these are the three values x can take. You are trying to say that for the value of x being 9, you get an acute angle triangle. For the value of x being 10, you get an acute angle triangle. For the value of x being 11, you get an acute angle triangle. What I meant, 6, 10, 9 is an acute angle triangle. 6, 10, 10 is an acute angle triangle. 6, 10, 11 forms an acute angle triangle. Therefore, there are three acute angle triangles that can be formed. Are you all comfortable with this thought? Everybody is clear about these thoughts? Clear what I said so far? Clear what I said so far? There are three acute angle triangles that can be formed with the given condition. Yeah, quickly respond, guys. As many as you can respond. Hey, these are very elementary CAT questions. Trust me. Okay, I mean, we need to be clear with the framework. We need to be clear with concepts. Okay, but these are much doable kind of CAT questions we are talking about. Okay, good, very good. We got three. All right. So let me ask you another question here. Let me change this acute. We already know some data. Instead of acute, if I put the word obtuse. What's your answer? Same question. Instead of acute angle triangles, I'm asking you that how many obtuse angle triangles are possible? If two sides are 6 and 10, how many obtuse angle triangles are possible? Use all your understanding so far. Don't try to recreate the full question. Because with the 6 and 10 for the last 15 minutes, we are working on the same number 6 and 10. You already have enough information about it. Use that information and put the answer in the chat. Don't recreate. Don't start from the scratch. Don't start from the scratch, friends. If you start from the scratch, it will take a long time. If you start from the scratch, you will be using this. Don't use this. Not required. Because as of now, we have a lot of information about this. Don't start from the scratch. Oh, why it is taking so long? Okay, this is what it was, right? For us. Come back to this. I'm talking about how many obtuse angle triangles. First of all, you said that, hey, two sides, one side, second side and third side. Let me put it to perspective. Okay, first solid, this is given 6, 10, no choice in the matter. Okay, the other sides were, you started from 5, cache memory, we already calculated, right? This can be 5, this can be 6, this can be 7, 8, 9, 10, all this story. Anyway, let me write it for you. Right, 12, 13, 14 and 15. You said that, man, third side can take all these values. Good. Out of these particular values, you are saying that when S3 is 9 and 10 and 11, it is forming acute angle triangle. This is forming acute angle triangle. Now when S3 becomes 8, listen to me, when this becomes 8, it is a right angle triangle. Common sense. All right, that all you will notice. So which means one side is 6, one side is 10. When third side becomes 8, it forms a right angle triangle. Then what about the remaining cases? These are obtuse angle triangles and there are obtuse angle triangles. You don't have to recreate the whole stuff. Therefore 4 plus 3, there would be 7. Answer to this question would become 7. There would be 7 obtuse angle triangles. Look, you already said that there are 11 triangles that can be formed. I'm just giving a classification. 3 of them are acute angle triangles. 3 are acute and one is a right angle triangle, and the remaining 7 are going to be obtuse angle triangles. Did it make sense? Are you clear? Otherwise, you have to recreate. If you want to start from the scratch on this question, you have to use that a square plus b square is less than c square. You have to use this and start from the scratch. It will take some time. Clear about this? Answer is 7. Clear? Yes or no? Because we already spent 10 minutes on this question. Yeah. So we don't have to do from the scratch. That's my point. Clear? Everybody clear? Quickly respond, guys. Quickly respond. The faster you respond, better it is. Yeah. Why only Rishav and Timothy are following? Others are still struggling to comprehend what is happening here. Karthik is following. Nandini is following. How do we do this with the formula? Nandini, will you try this? You will get two things. Alright, first you have to find this limit. You have to find this limit. If you want to do this with formula, you first find these limits. After finding these limits, apply this. Apply this. Because you will get the range outside. You will get the range outside. So then outside means you should know where it stops. You have to get these conditions first. You have to get these conditions first and then apply this. And then apply this twice. You have to apply this twice. 2 times you should apply this. That is the steps involved in this. Clear what I said? Everybody clear? You kind of understood. Nandini's doubt is relevant. You understood this? Yeah, that's right, Rishabh. So you will get, it will stand outside. How do it is not converging inequality. It is a diverging inequality. Since it's a diverging inequality, you will get this 5 and 15 in your mind. It's a mental math. When 6 and 10 are given, to identify 5 and 15 as the boundary numbers, it's a mental math. That's a mental math. And then you apply this, just like 2 cases. Let X solid, let S3 be the largest side, or S2, 10 be the largest side. You apply this. Once you apply this, those diverging ones, what Rishabh has put it in the chat, that is right. Right? So therefore, already you start from 12 and you stop at 15. Then you start from 7 and stop at 5. That's what you do there. Okay, good. Yeah, I hope you understood, guys. I don't have to do this. Tell me, firmly tell me that we understood. Otherwise, don't say that, okay, for acute we know, obtuse we don't know still. You understood, right? Understood what I'm trying to tell? It's a very valid doubt, Nandini asked, because it's a diverging inequality. Converging and diverging. Acute was converging, this is diverging. That's what I wanted you to be clear with. Yeah, comfortable, very nice, superb. Superb. So here we go. Next one. Yeah. So Dipto, after the lecture, you just rewind to that number and just check once again. Yeah. Otherwise, it becomes too repetitive. Okay. Or towards the end of the lecture, I will explain. All right. For now, let's go ahead. Towards the end, I will try and explain, or you just rewind it and listen again. So put it in the Telegram group. So we'll discuss about it. Somebody will write the full solution and send it to you, or I will write the full solution. Or Rishav, Keval, Nazia, somebody will write it. There are many active people, they will write it and send. Yeah, Sudipto, do that. Do that. Maybe after the lecture you do that. As of now, come with the lecture. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Good. Okay, let me ask you a question. If the perimeter is 20, listen, leave this question, guys. Leave this question because this concept is also important. If the perimeter is 20, what is the range? All right, now what is the range of values the longest side can take? We said something like this, A, B, C. Now I'm asking that what is the range of value C can take? Can you type the range in the chat box? Can you type the range in the chat box? If the perimeter is 20, what is the range of values the largest side can take? What is the range of values the largest side can take? Counting will come to it later, don't worry. First answer this question because this concept itself is important. This itself is important. Because when we do some questions, we will be able to work through that. What is the range of values the largest side can take? If the perimeter of the triangle is 20, then what is the range of values the largest side can take? From what value to what value? Okay. Good. Always the largest value should be always less than half of perimeter. P stands for perimeter. The largest value should be necessarily less than half of the perimeter, but it can be, if it is an equilateral triangle, it would be perimeter by 3, the largest value. That is the range of largest value. This is the range of largest value. Always the largest value is important for our study, right? Largest side value, in the sense, what I meant by value here is the largest side. The study about understanding about the largest side is important when it comes to the triangle. That's a point I'm trying to drive here. Okay, the largest side has to be necessarily less than half of perimeter. It should be necessarily less than half of the perimeter, but it can be greater than or equal to 1/3 of the perimeter. If it is equal to, when it is equal to 1/3 of the perimeter, we are trying to claim that it has become an equilateral triangle. That is the point there. Okay, this proposition itself is important. Now let's deal with, say, if I want to make a pattern on this. Let's say, okay, some of you might have made the pattern. So let's say that if I were to make a pattern on this, how do I make a pattern? Having understood this particular premise, so let C be the largest side. If C is the largest side, the values it should take is 20 divided by 2. It should be less than 20 divided by 2, and it should be greater than or equal to 20 divided by 3. Okay, so this is 6.66. Therefore, you are trying to say that the C should lie between 10 and 6.66. Three cases will emerge. What are the three cases? It can be 7 or 8 or 9. The largest side can take only 3 values called as 7, 8 or 9. Okay, let me start with one of these values. Let's say that, hey man, I will take 9 to start with. I'm just starting with 9. If you write it as 9, the second largest value can also be 9. 9 plus 9 is 18, but the perimeter has to be 20. Therefore, you write it as 2. So one of the triangles can be 2, 9, 9. That is possible. Keep this 9 intact, permute these two values. You can write it as 8 versus 3. Keep this 9 intact, permute these two values. You can write it as 7 and 4. Permute this further, you can write it as 6 and 5. Okay, the pattern has come to an end. Why? I always want A to be less than B. Therefore, pattern has come to an end. You don't have to say that, sir, I will write 6 here, 5 here, 9 here. Not required. It's already there. It's already there. Therefore, it is not required. It is the same triangle. Okay, pattern of 9 has come to an end. Let us go to pattern of 8 now. Let's go to pattern of 8. When you write 8 here, the second largest value can also be 8. 8 plus 8 has become 16. Therefore, 16 plus 4 has become 20. Okay, I can permute this, keep this 8 intact, I can make it 7 and 5, I can make it 6 and 6. That 8 was constant. Okay, I will stop at this. Next one, third case, I will take this as 7. Third case is 7. When I take 7, this becomes 7, which is 14 and 6, and that comes to an end. Therefore, you are trying to say that, okay, there are 4 values here with 9, there are 3 values with 8, and there is 1 value with 7. 4 plus 3 plus 1, and hence 8 triangles are possible whose perimeter is 20 and the sides are integers. Okay, this is the pattern. This is how you evaluate the pattern. Rishabh, clear? Clear, Rishabh? How to make the pattern? To make the pattern, first you should write this. What are the values the largest side can take? You have to start there, and it's very important, and that's very important. Now, without making pattern, how do we do that? We'll come to it. Because what if the number is large? Instead of 20, what if it becomes 200? Okay, anyway, that absurd number will not be given in the exam. Just in case. Keval, why you are getting this doubt? Can A and B be equal ever? Why not? Why can't they be equal? It is called isosceles triangle. 6 into 6 into 8. It's an isosceles triangle. When you are writing this, what is it called? It's an isosceles triangle. When you are writing 6, 7, 7, it is an isosceles triangle. Clear, Keval? Why that doubt? Isosceles triangles are possible. P by 3 is equal to C is only a condition, the largest value, equilateral triangle. What if this number instead of 20 had I given it as 18, right? Perimeter is equal to 18. Then one triangle is possible in which it will be, sides will be 6, 6, 6. This is called as equilateral triangle. That depends on the number. With 20, I cannot create an equilateral triangle with sides being integers. But with 18, I could have created. or with 21 I can create. Understood? Understood? I don't know what is your doubt exactly, but I'm hoping that okay, I kind of explained. It depends on the number. When you want to find an equilateral triangle, it depends on the number. See, with 20 I can still create an equilateral triangle, but the sides won't be integers. That's it. That's it. Equilateral triangle is possible with 20 as perimeter as well. Okay, yeah, but the point is sides need not be integers. That's it. Okay, but I am here looking for sides being integers. We will revisit this question. Since all of you understood this, why don't you work on this question, my friends? Everybody please work on this question as a practice, as a matter of practice. Work on this question, then we will come back, then we will revisit. What if the number is large? That is the next question. Instead of 19, what if it becomes 39? How do we go about it? We will come to that fact. First work on this question. Everybody confirm me that we are getting the answers for this. Yeah, Rishav, Nazia, answers. Preet has given the answer. Okay. Who else in the meeting? Sahil. I am just randomly taking some names. Don't worry. Don't think that okay, why not my name? Thomas. Just randomly taking some names. Put your numbers, guys. Yeah. Arman, geometry, you can expect about 4 questions. 4 or 5 in CAT on the reduced numbers. Say about 25 questions in Quant. 25 plus or minus whatever, one or more, one more, one less. So you can expect about 4 or 5 questions. Geometry and mensuration put together. Yeah, of course, it will be more of geometry only. Okay, good, very good. So why others are still not responding? It's such an easy question, guys. Okay, fine. Let's see that you look at this 19. First, you make this analysis. Your third side has to lie between these two values. That's the first. You will get a ballpark figure for what should my largest side should look like. All right, that is the first figure that you kind of get it. Okay, so this has become 6.33, and the other side has become, let 19 by 2, which is 9.5. Therefore you say that 7, 8, 9. Again 3 cases. So you would still say that I will find 3 cases, then put it to perspective, and you can work in the similar fashion. ABC, you may say that this is 9, this is 9, therefore 1. 199 is one of those triangles, right? So one of those particular triangles, and then you say that this is 9, 8, 2. This is 7, 3, 6, 4, 5, 5. Okay, that is the case of 9. Okay, and if you are starting with 8, 8 and 8 or 16, 16 plus 4, therefore you say that this is 7, 5, and this becomes, okay, this is the next one is 6, 6. All right, that is the case of 8. If you're writing from 8, you write that 7 and 7, that is 14, and therefore you say that 7, 7, 5, then you write 7, then you make it 6 and 6. All right, that becomes the third. Did I make a mistake here? I made 20 here, I guess, right? Yeah, 8, 8. Sorry, I made 20 there. 16, that is 3 here, right? Yeah. So therefore you write it as 4, 7, 5, 6, and that's it. Yeah, 8. Okay, now these are the cases that you are talking about, which adds up to 10. That is right. All right, which adds up to 10. Okay, yeah, coming to this. That's right, Preet. That's right. All right, if the number gets larger, all right, number gets larger. The very reason I wanted you to do this question is I wanted to talk about the range for this, because in some of the larger questions, this is important. If I give the formula, you will never understand this particular proposition. That is my problem, right? Because when we are doing some of the larger questions, this becomes an integral part of these particular questions. They become the integral part. So if we fail to understand this, we will fail to answer those particular questions into the future. So first thing is we should know this, and then all right, now there is a direct formula. The derivatives you can look for, the pure geometry you can look into those particular books. If it is an even number, if the perimeter is even, if the perimeter is even, then you say that, hey, the number of triangles with integral sides is given by square of the perimeter by 48 nearest integer function. So when you do this, take the nearest integer that is possible on this particular function. That's the nearest integer function. For example, let me say that what I meant by the nearest integer function, say let us take this 20, apply this, therefore you say that 20 into 20 divided by 48. I am talking about the nearest integer function, my friends. Here nearest integer function, what I am talking here, 4 5 times, 4 5 times, and this becomes 16 3 times, right? Yeah, so therefore you say that the nearest integer function of 25 divided by 3, all right, which results in 8.33. The nearest integer is nothing but 8, which becomes your answer, right? Which becomes your answer. On the other hand, if P is odd, then the number of triangles is nothing but P plus 3 whole square divided by 48. P plus 3 whole square divided by 48, which in case is nothing but the nearest integer function is what you got to take. All right, if it is the odd, these are the two proposition. If it is even, we can use this. If it is odd, we can use this. I didn't tell this directly in the beginning because then we will forego this. This understanding is very important. After this comes everything else out there, right? That's what we mean by the nearest integer function. Okay, take this, guys. Side is perimeter is 15. Answer this quickly. Perimeter is 15. Get the answer using this formula. Use formula and answer this. Everybody do this. Everybody do this. You will learn from here what I meant by this. Take perimeter 15 and answer. Quick. Take perimeter 15 and answer. Take perimeter 15 and answer. You will understand what I meant. Take perimeter 15 and answer. Okay, good. All right, that is what I mean. That's right. Some of those who are giving it, it's a nearest integer function, right? It's a nearest integer function, not the greatest integer function or least integer function. I'm talking about nearest integer function. Therefore you write this as, hey, 18 into 18 divided by 48, nearest integer function. I am not talking greatest integer function. Be mindful about this. Okay, so therefore 2 9 times, and then 4 12 times. You are saying that, okay, this is 81 divided by 12, right? 81 divided by 12. If you want to simplify it further, you can simplify. There is no issue. 27 by 4, the nearest integer function for this is nothing but, right? So you will say that 6.75. This you are getting it as 6.75. I am not talking greatest integer function. The integer nearest to this is 7. The nearest integer function is 7. Therefore answer becomes 7. You understood the meaning of the word nearest integer function? Nearest integer to 8.33 is 8. Nearest integer to 6.75 is 7. Clear? Everybody clear about this? I'm not talking greatest integer function or least integer function. Don't go there. I'm talking nearest integer function. Yeah, round off, Karthik. Yeah, okay, rounding off. Yeah, that rounding off, we call it as the nearest integer function. That's right. Rounding off. In other words, as you said, rounding off. Makes sense. Good. Yeah, Preet, beautiful question you asked. In case 0.5, what we will take? 0.5 we will never get in this formula. That's the beauty of this. All right, if you read through the proof of this, you will not get 0.5. You will never get 8.5. This formula is designed in such a way that you will not get this. That's the beauty of this. Understood, Preet? Understood? You will not get this midpoint. You don't get this midpoint at all. That is the design. Read the proof of this, how beautifully they have designed it. Okay, because of want of time, we don't prove the things here in the class. Those who are interested, just Google the doc and then try to read the proof, how nicely this comes out. 0.5 you will never get. That's a miracle if you get 0.5. All right, that becomes a miracle. So no miracles. All right, let's come to the centers of triangles. Okay, that's about the story on the sides. All right, so far what we did is we kind of concluded the story on the sides. We can speak much more about it, but we will see it at a later stage in a different format. But that was about the story. What we did so far is, okay, if the sides are integers, how do we kind of work with this number of triangles, or be it acute, be it obtuse, or be it, all right, if the perimeter is given, the sides are integers, how do we figure it out? That is one study that we did. Yeah, now I'm coming to the centers of triangles. Can somebody put it in the chat, which are what do you mean by the centers of triangles? What do you mean by the centers of triangles? Can you name some of the centers of the triangles? This center, that center. What do you mean by centers of triangles? Can you put that in the chat? Centers of triangles. Can you guys put the centers of triangles first? Leave this question. Yeah, leave this question. This question is nothing to do with us. I'm asking you first that can you tell me quickly what are the centers of triangles? Leave this question. Very good. Very good. Orthocenter, centroid, orthocenter, incenter, circumcenter. Good. Yeah, these four are good enough, right? Sometimes we use the X center. That is also there. Sometimes we use it as the X center. These four centers. Fair enough. Very good. Very good. All right. Now one is centroid. One is centroid, center of gravity. We generally represented by G, standard representation G. That's a centroid. Very good. And then we have orthocenter. Very nice. The other one we have is orthocenter, represented by H. These are standard notation. All right, standard notation in geometry. Now you may say that no, sir, I will write A, B, C, D. Write it. But these are the golden standards. All right, we generally write it like this. Yeah. And then we have in center. There is no order. So it's not that should we first do orthocenter only. No, I didn't mean that. Yeah, you have in center represented by I, then you have circumcenter, then you have circumcenter represented by circumcenter, circumcenter represented by C. Now these are the standards that we kind of use. All right, G, H, I, all right, C, all that stuff, right? These are the standards that we kind of use. Okay, now these are the four centers. Some people mention the fifth center also. They call it as an X center. So be it. No worries on this. Okay, so now keyword. How do I get a centroid? I will not do that full revision on centers of triangles, all that. I will tell you what are the 2 or 3 points that you should kind of remember, right? Remember, or let's do the question first and then we can come to this. Okay, we'll come back to this. We'll come back to this because we are not doing a complete study as such. Yeah, take a look at this particular question. We kind of know what we meant by centroid, orthocenter, incenter and circumcenter. I will come back to it. Try and answer this particular question, whatever the limited understanding that you have. I will wait for a minute or so. Try and answer this. Try and answer this based on your understanding of these centers, because all of you typed the centers. I'm sure you would have studied something about these centers by now. Yeah, Ashutosh, answer the question. We'll come to that later. What is what? We'll come to it later. Okay, all right, guys. Let's try and quickly understand this. Good enough? Yeah, let's try this. What is centroid? Centroid is point of intersection of two or more medians. More is three, right? More is three. Point of intersection of two or three medians. I'm sure that all of you understand what I meant by the medians. Okay. Now, a couple of things that you kind of understand about this. What? All right, the centroid G divides every median in the ratio 2:1. That is one point you kind of remember. First thing is what? Centroid means point of intersection of two or three medians. Two medians, two or more. More stands for three. Wherever two medians intersect, that forms the centroid. Now, what does centroid do? Centroid divides the median in the ratio 2:1, 2 towards the vertex and 1 towards the base. For example, if you just want to quickly understand this, say ABC is the triangle. I don't think I should do this, but nevertheless, let me do. I will fix a midpoint here. I will draw the first median. Say this is my first median. I will fix the midpoint on the other side and I will draw my second median N. Okay, wherever these 2 points have intersected, this forms the centroid. What does centroid do? So this centroid divides the line AM in the ratio 2:1. That is, if this is 2x, this would become 1x. Similarly, G also divides BN in the ratio 2:1. If you think this is 2y, this becomes 1y. That is one of the important premises. Second thing, second thing that you also kind of understand is, hey, 3 medians, if you put 3 medians, let's say that another one, another one, 3 medians put together divide the given triangle into 6 areas, 6 equal areas. Areas will be equal. There are now 6 triangles here. The 3 medians put together have formed 6 triangles. This is a triangle 1, triangle 2, triangle 3, triangle 4, triangle 5 and triangle 6. All these 6 triangles have the same area. All these 6 triangles, by area they are same area, but not same shape. Shape need not be same. No guarantee on the shape. You may say that, sir, but they are looking different. Yeah, possible. Alright, now shape can be shape. I'm not giving a guarantee on the shape, but the area wise, they all 6 will be equal. These are the at least 2 points you kind of remember from the centroid perspective. Coming to the orthocenter. What is orthocenter? Point of intersection of 2 or more altitudes. 2 or more altitudes. That's a keyword. 2 or more altitudes. For example, quickly to put it to the perspective, let me put it to the perspective here. What do you mean by altitude? I will look at the vertex A. I will drop a perpendicular. Now this has become an altitude. Let me call this point as M. AM is an altitude. Similarly, I can look at the other side. I could say that, hey, this looks like an altitude. This looks like another altitude. Now wherever these 2 points have intersected, this becomes the orthocenter called H. Now listen to me here. In this orthocenter, listen guys, everybody listen on this. This central angle formed here on this orthocenter, angle formed here, we call them as the central angle because they're at the center. This angle, alright, that is BHC, angle BHC is always 180 minus angle formed at one of the vertex, alright, one of the opposite vertex, same side, alright, that is nothing but angle A. On the same way, you may say that, sir, why can we find something else? Say for example, this one, alright, if I take up this particular one, angle formed by the orthocenter here, all right, now that is AHB, angle AHB, all right, that's the central angle here. Angle AHB is nothing but 180 minus angle C, angle formed at angle C. Likewise, you can find the other one as well, central angle versus opposite angle. Okay, did it make sense? This one point you should remember about the orthocenter. There are many other points. We'll come to them at the later stage, but this is at least one point you should kind of remember about the orthocenter, and these are at least the 2 points you should kind of remember about the centroid. So far it is good. I'm telling the most important highlights. There are some least important highlights also. That's later. We'll check them later as we progress. Guys, say yes, no. Making sense what I'm talking. I'm at least telling you the most important things there. Right. Yeah. Coming to the in-center. What is the keyword for the in-center? Angle bisectors. Coming to this. What is this? Angle bisectors. Okay, angle bisector. What is that one thing? All right, that one important thing I should at least remember with respect to this. Okay, this angle is bisected, let's say. Okay, this angle has become x by 2 and this angle also has become x by 2. Technically, it was x. Similarly, I am bisecting the other angle as well. Okay, this angle, whatever was there, I have bisected it, was angle y. I bisected y by 2. Now, this has formed an in-center. Good. Now, when I'm forming this in-center, what is important to me? Okay, I formed it. I got my in-center. All right. So, from here, from this in-center, one thing that I want to derive is this. Hey, if this in-center is I, say this is A, this is B and C. If I'm forming this particular in-center, if I'm working on this particular in-center, angle BIC, angle formed at the center is 90 plus angle formed in the opposite vertex. Yeah, what is this particular angle? That particular angle was angle A. Angle A divided by 2. This is the relationship. There you may say that, hey, can I find further relationships on this? You can find. You can find further relationships at the in-center as well. If you combine these two areas, if you say that, hey, I will check these two parts. I will take these two parts. You know, you are saying that angle AIC. What is angle AIC? This particular angle. Look at the angle on the opposite side. That becomes 90 plus angle B divided by 2. Now this one relationship is important when it comes to in center. This is one of the angles that at least you should kind of remember. Okay, coming to the circumcenter, coming to the last one, circumcenter. On the circumcenter side, or the circumcenter, what is circumcenter? I'll let perpendicular bisector of sides. I will put the midpoint here, say ABC. I'll take the midpoint here. I will find this is a perpendicular bisector of a side. Okay, I will take a look at this and I will form the perpendicular bisector on this. Okay, perpendicular bisector, both of them met together at this particular point. I'll let now which becomes the center here, C or O. Generally we write it as O. I will write it as O. O is the center. Good. So now here what we find here is a angle formed here, angle BOC. Angle BOC is nothing but 2 times of angle A. Angle formed at this particular vertex. Angle BOC is 2 times of angle A. Right? Yeah. Similarly, you may say that no sir, I will work on the other side of it. Okay, work on the other side. You said this particular side, angle AOC. Now you are saying that what is angle AOC? Angle AOC is nothing but 2 times of angle B. Twice of angle B. Angle formed at the center versus angle formed at the opposite vertex. Is this making sense? Clear about this? Clear about this? Clear about this? Everybody clear about this? This was the background I was expecting. Minimum background I was expecting. This is the minimum background I was expecting. Okay, now that is the summary. All right, all 4 centers are summarized in 10 minutes. Done. Let's come back to this particular question. Now let's attack this particular question. That was the summary I was expecting. Okay, let's take a look at this. Say what is the author is trying to say. H will be somewhere here. Right, you would drop the perpendicular here. All at BHC we are looking at. Okay, so on the other side also you will say that hey, this looks more like a perpendicular to this side. Okay, all right, these are 2 perpendicular and this is where my H is. Roughly a rough diagram. Is it an acute angle triangle, obtuse angle triangle? Doesn't matter. A rough diagram to illustrate this point to you. Okay, then I am forming this angle BHC is this red line. So I formed angle BHC. So what is angle BHC? Angle BHC is nothing but 180 minus angle A. Angle BHC is nothing but 180 minus angle A. Good. Angle BHC is given to me as 140 degrees. 140, 180 minus angle A. Therefore, you say that angle A is nothing but 40 degrees. Angle A is nothing but 40 degrees. I will put it on the other side. I will say that, okay, man, I got this as 40 degrees. Or here, the angle A is nothing but 40 degrees. Good enough. Come to the other side of the spectrum. Angle BIC. BIC is nothing but point of intersection. Point of intersection of angle bisectors. I bisected this particular angle, sure. And also I bisected this particular angle, let's say. So these 2 angle bisectors are meeting here, called as point I. They are meeting at a point called as I. Hey, what is this? This is what I meant by BIC. Therefore, angle BIC is nothing but 90 plus half of angle A plus half of angle A. Angle A, I already know that this is 40 degrees and hence my answer becomes 110 degrees. I was just questioning about, I was just asking about this summary. Technically, when I asked this question, I was asking that, hey, quickly about 4 centers, is my summary in place? All right, at least the executive summary, the broad summary is in place. Of course, we can talk in minute about, hey, what happened to the centroid if it is an acute angle triangle, obtuse angle triangle, right angle triangle? What happens to the orthocenter when it is an acute angle triangle, obtuse angle triangle, right angle triangle? That's a detailed study. I'm now hoping that, okay, you are clear about the detailed study, but this is the general study. No matter whether you are talking acute angle or obtuse angle or right angle, this will be definitely true, right? But the details can change based on the types of triangles. So because orthocenter, you can study orthocenter from the perspective of right angle, from the perspective of acute angle, from the perspective of obtuse angle. 3 perspectives will come based on which a little bit of information will change, but common information is what I spoke. Now, clear about this? Shall we go further? All good? All good? Yeah, if everything is good, try this particular question. All is good, all right, try this particular question. Yeah. Try this. Based on the summary that I gave, you will be able to answer this question. You should be able to answer this question. Yeah, whoever is music for life, right? You said that cat 22. So this is for cat 21. Okay, you don't have to bother much about this. Music for life, you can put your name there. This is for cat 21. You don't have to go at this space. So you can join me when I start doing cat 22 from next week onwards. Some lectures I will take for cat 22 from the forthcoming week. Join me for cat 22. Don't join now. Not required at this stage. You don't have to learn this depth, because it's a very, I'm concept wise I'm dealing. I'm not dealing the complete basics. All right, okay, fine guys. So here we come. All right, this is the diagram. This is how a schematic diagram can look like this. This is just a schematic diagram for this. So this is where G is. So you have drawn the medians and you got this. Okay, you found this. You dropped a median AD. And then you find the other one and you dropped another median onto the other side. All that stuff. Now this angle has become 30 degrees. That is what author says. Angle AG has become 30 degrees. Good. Okay. So and then if AD is equal to 15, so this would be 10 units and this would become 5 units. So that's what we kind of understood there, 5 units. Then if B is equal to 21, this would be 14 units. This particular part is 14 units and this particular part would become 7 units. Let me put the third median. Just let me put the third median. Okay. If I put the third median, it has become 6 triangles now. It was not that I put the third median. Fine. So we already know the concept that when I put the third median, it gets 6 equal triangles. These are the 6 equal triangles that I'm getting: 3, 4, 5 and 6. All right, I'm getting 6 equal triangles. Area of each triangle would be same, but I have a complete information about the triangle which I have hatched. AGE, I have complete information. In triangle AG, I'm just highlighting this. In the triangle AG, I know one side, this is A here, this is G here, this is E here. I have an angle which is 30 degrees, right? There is an angle which is 30 degrees and I have one side 10 and I have another side 7. Area of the triangle can be formed in 6 different ways, right? Area of the triangle can be figured out in 6 different ways. I'm sure that you would be knowing all 6 different ways of finding the area. One of this is area of the triangle is equal to half AB sine theta. All right, if I call this as one side and if I call this as the third side, you know that if this is theta, you know that one of the area ways of finding is 2 sides and their included angle. Sine theta should be an included angle. It cannot happen that I will give you this 10 and this 7 and I give the angle here. Some 45 degrees I'll give the angle here. That's useless. If I give an angle there, that does not help us. All right, that might not help us. It should be an included angle between the sides. Of course, I got an included angle and then you say that, hey, this is half. One of the sides is 10, another side is 7. Included angle is 30, sine 30. So they expect that you know at least the standard angles. That is sine 30 you know, sine 45 you know, sine 60 you know, right? And then sine 90 you know. These 5 angles at least you know, be it sine, be it cosine or be it tan. So with respect to this, they expect that you know 0, you know 30, you know 60, you know 45, you know 60 and you know 90. These 5 you know. Knowing these values, they also expect that probably you know sine A minus B sometimes, or let's sine A plus B sometimes, A plus or minus B, cross A plus or minus B, tan A plus or minus B. This is the expectation from any exam. Any exam they expect minimum this much. Hey, why it is required? Hey, if I ask you tan 75 degrees, so they expect that you kind of know that you can write this as tan 45 plus 30. Then you start expanding this because you know how to expand tan A plus B and you will be able to get the value of under root 3 something there, right? That's the whole stuff there. Now this is the minimum expectation. Sure, there is little more that we will discuss about it later towards the fag end of our discussion. That's a minimum expectation. So we know that sine 30 is nothing but half. That's a basic understanding. You get the basics of trigonometry in class 9 or class 10, that much, right? That's an expectation. Whatever I'm speaking here, you would have learnt in class 9 and class 10. So that's a basic expectation. Fair enough. So therefore you write this. Now this into 6 is the required answer. This into 6 is the required answer. Why into 6? Because we said that there are 6 equal triangles by area. Therefore this into 6 becomes the answer. Everyone clear about this? Everyone clear about this? There are 6 ways to find the area of the triangle, and this is one of the important elementary ways. Other ways are half base into height, blah blah blah, all that stuff. I just gave that number 6 ways. So I'm sure you will be able to recall which are the 6 ways. Heron's rule, that all of this. Okay? Yeah, that becomes our answer. What is the answer, by the way? When you find this, what is the answer? What is the answer? 105. That's right. 105, that would be right. Okay, 105 would be right. All right. Yeah. Guys, are you all learning something? Are we too slow, or is it because the first lecture, I don't know how much you have revised, how often you revised? Are you all learning something here? Are we learning something here? Yes, no? Something already. We are revising, basically. We are revising reinforcement. Is some reinforcement happening? That's my point. We titled the series as reinforcement. So is some reinforcement happening or not? That's a point there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Sadly, it is almost the time, but it's almost the time. Nevertheless, we'll do one more question and then we'll capitalize on that concept in tomorrow's lecture. Let's try this. Let's try this. Yeah, we are almost the time. So I don't know, time flies, huh? Time literally flies. I look at the clock and suddenly it says that we are at 11:15 kind of. Yeah. It suddenly flies. All right, let's come to this. Take a look at this particular question. Diagram is shown in the figure. A ratio is expected. Guys, all these are CAT replica questions. Don't think that, okay, these are something else. So because as a part of reinforcement, we will just take either CAT, ZAT or IIFT. That's it. Right? We'll take from one of those papers and we will reflect on them because more or less they go hand in hand. Most of the things go hand in hand in these 3 exams. Yeah, someone put the answer. All right, do it with me. It is just based on what we did just now. Listen, everybody listen, have attention here. Everybody listen to this. Okay, what is given to me? If this is 3x, if AD is 3x, then DB is 5x. Listen guys, everybody listen, I'm just putting them to the perspective there. And also given that BE and EC are BE, if I say that this is 5y, I'm just writing them for clarity. If BE is equal to 5y, EC is equal to 7y. Great, all right. Now, but I want the area of this particular triangle to the other side of the quadrilateral. We'll come to that place. All right, we'll come to it. Okay, so now if I look at this, hey, first look at the bigger triangle. Look at this. All right, look at it in isolation like this. This is the bigger triangle, let's say. This is the bigger triangle. What is the dimensions of the bigger triangle in terms of whatever we know? Dimension here is 8x. Dimension here is 12y. Dimension here is 8x and 12y. Where is that 8x? 3x plus 5x is 8x. 5y plus 7y is 12y. That is the dimension of the bigger triangle called ABC. That is the dimension of the bigger triangle. All right. What is the dimensions of the smaller triangle? Smaller means the one which I am in contention, this one. What about this? That is nothing but B, and there is a D here and there is a E here. BDE. What are the dimensions of this? You say that, hey, this is 5x and this is 5y. Okay, between both the triangles, now look at this, the sides, this is the included angle theta. If I call this particular angle as theta, then here also it is the same theta here. It is also the same included angle theta here. Look, this is the same included angle theta because it's the same. For the bigger triangle also I have this theta. For the larger triangle is the same angle. For the smaller triangle is the same angle. I am asking ratio, therefore sine theta gets cancelled. You can visualize that sine theta can get cancelled in this particular case. Okay, let me find the area of this triangle ABC first. What is the area of the triangle here? Half. Okay, 12y and 8x sine theta. That is what you write. Fair enough. This is what you write here, sine theta. Okay, what will be the area of this smaller piece of the triangle? You write this as half 5x and 5y times of sine theta. Okay, now let me find the area of the smaller triangle by larger triangle to start with. BDE divided by ABC. Let me find the area of the triangles. But you may say that, sir, author has asked quadrilateral. We'll come to it. Let's not worry about it. Let's come to this. When I substitute them in the numerator and denominator, you understand that sine theta gets cancelled. Half and half gets cancelled. X and x gets cancelled. Y and y gets cancelled. Correct? All this gets cancelled. So now ultimately what all I'm left with, 5 into 5 divided by 12 into 8. 12 into 8, that is 25 divided by 96. All right, 25 divided by 96. What I'm trying to say is, hey, if this is 25, the entire figure is 96, then this will be the 25 parts of that particular figure. If you think the entire figure is 96 parts, 96 is not the actual number, right? It's a part. If you think that it is 96 parts, then this forms 25 parts. Therefore, what about the remaining one? 96 minus 25. If you want only this quadrilateral part, it becomes 96 minus 21, which is nothing but 71. That is the required answer. 25 divided by 71. Guys, did you understand this power of this sine theta, common angle? Basically, I am also talking about half AB sine theta. A lot of people ignore. Number one, half AB sine theta is important. That is very important for study. Okay, that's very important. Second thing is, so I'll let half AB sine theta. The second thing is this common angle is important. You should pay attention to certain common angles when you are comparing the stuff. Is this clear to you? Is this clear to you? Everybody clear on this? What I'm trying to talk? Clear about this? Clear about this? Yeah, good. But once you understand this, don't write half AB sine theta, etc. For example, what if this question was given to me? All right, when this particular question is given to me, just represent these sides. You say that, hey, this is 3 here, this is 5 here, therefore the total is 8 here. If I want the total becomes 8, right? This is 5 here, this is 7 here. If I want the total, it becomes 12. Now, sine theta is in your mind. The cot theta is the common angle between the smaller triangle as well as the larger triangle. A triangle can be compared with a triangle, right? So you can compare this. Don't worry about x, y, etc, etc. Here you could have taken this 5 and you could have taken this 5 and you would have written that, hey, this is a function of 5 into 5. This part is a function of 5 into 5. What about the total? The total will be a function of, hey, this is 8 here and this is 12 here. The total triangle will be a function of 8 into 12. That's all the effort it goes in after understanding the concept. Concept is half AB sine theta, common angle, blah, 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 all that stuff. Yeah, all that stuff is true. But once you understand that particular concept, the effort that goes into this particular question is, you simply visualize this is 5 into 5, 25, and you simply visualize there is a 8 and 12, which becomes 96. Therefore, you simply come back and say that this is 96 minus 25, which is nothing but 71. You compare these two ratios, 25 and 71. Is this making sense? So summarize the things. What I'm trying to say is, hey, once I give the concept, don't allow me only to summarize the things. You guys go ahead and figure it out that, hey, I don't have to write so many things because there are a lot of things which would be common in comparison which get cancelled. Only take those elements solid which is required and try to put it together to bring that effectiveness. Wherever possible, I will show some things. Even if I don't show after telling the concept, you put that together. All right, are you all with me? Are you all with me on the closure thoughts? Yeah. Anaga, put that comments on the WhatsApp, put it on the already your concerns that you have. All right, put that on the Telegram group. We can take it up there. Okay. Yeah. Great. All right, guys. Yeah, fine. So let's quickly take a look at what is coming up for tomorrow or so. So those who have liked this particular lecture, so go ahead and then mark it as liked. If you have genuinely liked it, put it as a like here. If you have not done so, and do that, and subscribe to the channel. So whenever I'm doing it, subscribe to this Telegram group as well, so that whenever we are doing a lecture, you will not miss out. You are there, so that will be encouraging to both of us. Okay. Yeah, a couple of quick announcements. So if you have the doubts on the academic side as well, sure, some of you are posting it on the Telegram group as well, and you guys are kind of discussing it. But there is an official doubt channel, right? Ask a doubt. You may have to refresh your app. If you refresh your app, there is an official doubt channel. So it's pretty easy. So any doubt that you have, also you may have to like probably download the new app. If this feature is not showing on your or not showing on your app, then you may have to do that, or you may have to quickly do that, so that you can also get resolved officially these particular doubt by some of the educators. So how do you do that? Go to the dashboard. On your dashboard, you will find this ask a doubt feature. Click on that, and whatever the image that you have, take that picture and mention it as whether it is QA, DI, LR, whatever it is. Let put the doubt, and somebody will try to answer the doubt either through a written solution or to a video solution. That is what you can kind of expect there, right? Okay. Now there are some free mocks by Unacademy. So one of them is done on 17th, and I did a brief analysis of this. So we will do in-depth analysis as we go along for the remaining mocks, but it will make sense only if you take the mock. All right. Now next mock is coming up on this particular Sunday between 12:30 and 2:30. If you are free during that particular time, not taking any other mock on that particular day, because I don't advise you to write multiple mocks on the same day. If you are planning not to write any other mock on that particular Sunday, then go ahead, write this particular mock on 24th. Maybe on Monday or Tuesday we will do the in-depth analysis, and you will get the video solutions, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So if you are new here and if you are not having any educator code, you can use my educator code Belvi 100, and you can take that particular test. Okay. Yes, tomorrow we will convene at 4 p.m, preferably at 4 p.m. I have not scheduled it yet because I was not keeping little well. I've been little unwell. Yeah, but it doesn't appear by my whatever I'm speaking. It appears that in what capacity you are unwell, sir, you look like completely energetic. Yeah, that's true. On the face of it, that is true. Yeah, I was little unwell, therefore I didn't. Probably we will plan the geometry continuation 4 p.m. tomorrow. So you will receive that notifications once I plan that. Preferably at 4 p.m. tomorrow, we will plan this particular lecture. Those who have the plus subscription, we will start trigonometry tomorrow, trigonometry on 23rd, that is tomorrow at 7 p.m. You can join me out there. Yeah, that is pretty much about what is coming up, that is tomorrow. And yes, so any comments there, any questions that you guys have, you can project it. I will try and answer. Okay. Yeah, Rishabh, you can give some tips to Anaga. Good, Keval. I think I see you. I found you on this channel after a long time. Good night. Good night. Thank you. I hope everything has been well and you are preparing well. No, Rishabh, you can try. You can try. There is nothing wrong. Hey, you guys do that on the B school, man. You do the projects together. You guide together. You exchange already your ideas, strengths and weaknesses, all that. You can do that. There is nothing right or wrong, man. You can do that, Rishabh. Okay, try, give a genuine try. That's important. Okay, always it should be a genuine try. Okay, it should be a genuine try. Yeah, we'll do that, Risha. We'll do that. 3 variables, yes, we'll do. We'll take a couple of examples. Next week we'll do. Yeah. Preet, every month I'll be taking somewhere closer to dozen hours on the plus platform. 10 to 15 hours I'll be taking, right? Along with that, you can avail a lot other classes as well. But if you ask me, technically at this point in time, maybe till December or so, since you're preparing for CAT 21, I'll be doing about 15 hours on the plus platform in a very structured course manner, right? You find on the YouTube little bit here and there, but there it will be pretty structured. Okay, just to give a perspective about it. Then maybe I will increase it to several more hours. But from CAT 21 perspective, if you are talking, that's what it is. All right. Yeah. 22, it can be much higher. From 21 perspective, let me set the right expectation. All right. Yeah. Okay. Fine, guys. Good night. I will see you guys sometime soon. That's tomorrow at 4 p.m. Bye till then. Stay blessed. Good night.